Hello, my little friend. What is your name? Jack, little Jack. How are you? Why are you so sad? Oh, you missed. Where is your parents? You don't know. You know, I can help you. Yes, today is your lucky day because you meet me and you missed in best place in the world. This is my magic center. Yes, you can play with everything that you want here. You don't want play? Oh, I know. I can give you the best fruits ever. This is the best fruit that you eat ever in your life. You can eat this fruit and find only in my center. You don't want? I know. Let's have a seat and I read for you fairy tale. After this, we can go and find your parents. You can go with me. Okay? But you must promise something to me. Don't cry, Jack. Okay? Let's see it. Oh, you want this fruit? Okay, I can give you. Take more little. Eat, and I read for you fairy tale, ear to ear. The name of fairy tale is Snowdrow. It's very nice fairy tale. Okay, you can listen. Let's start, my little friend. Okay. It was the middle of the winter when the bold flakes of the snow were falling around. Then the queen of country Mary sounded miles of sad working at her window. The frame of the window was made of fine black ebony, and as she sat looking out upon the snow, she pricked her finger and 3 drops of blood fell upon it. Then she gazed thoughtfully upon the red drops that sprinkled the white snow and said, "Would that my little daughter may be as white as snow, as red as the blood, and as black as this ebony window frame." And so the little girl really did grow up. Her skin was as white and as snow, her cheeks as rosy as the blood, and her hair as black as ebony, and she was called Snowdrow. But this queen died, and the king soon married another wife, who became queen and was very beautiful, but so vain that she could not bear to think that anyone could be handsome than she was. She had a very looking glass to which she used to go, and then she would gaze upon herself in it and say, "Tell me, glass, tell me true, of all ladies in the land, who is fairest? Tell me who." And the glass had always answered, "Thou, queen, art the fairest in all the land." But Snowdrow grew more and more beautiful, and when she was 7 years old, she was as bright as the day and fairer than the queen herself. Then the glass one day answered the queen when she went to look it in as usual, "Thou, queen, art fair and better to see, but Snowdrow is lovelier far than thee." When she heard this, she turned plain with rage and envy, and called to one of her servants and said, "Take Snowdrow away, and the white wood that I may never see her any more." Then the servant led her away, but his heart melted when Snowdrow begged him to spare her life, and he said, "I will not hurt you, thou pretty child. I will not hurt you." So he led her by herself, and he thought it most likely that the wild beasts who tear her in pieces he felt as if great weight were taken off his heart when he had made up his mind not to kill her but leave her to her fate, with the chance of someone find and saving her. Then poor Snowdrow wandered alone through the wood to grind the fear, and the wild beasts roared about her, but no did her any harm. In the evening they came to a pits, couched among the hills, and went in the rest, for her little feet would carry her on farther. Do you like this fairy tale? Okay, I'll read next, yes. Everything was so bright and neat in the cottage. On the table was beard and white clothes, and there were 7 little plates, 7 little loaves, and 7 little glasses, with wine in them, and 7 nice, yes, and fine, and 7 nice and first class in order. I read for you? Don't sleep, please. And she was very hungry. She picked a little piece of each cove and drank a very little wine out of each glass. And after that she thought she would lie down and rest. So she tried, and all the little beds but one was too long, and another was too short, till at last the seventh ended her, and there she laid herself down and went to sleep. By and by came the masters of the cottage. Now they were 7 little dwarfs that lived among the mountains and dug and searched for the gold. They lighted up the 7 lamps and saw at once that all was not right. The first said, "Who has been sitting on my stool?" The second, "Who has been eating off my plate?" The third, "Who has been picking my bread?" The fourth, "Who has been kneading my spoon?" The fifth, "Who has been handing my work?" The sixth, "Who has been cutting my knife?" The seventh, "Who has been drinking my wine?" The first looked round and said, "Who has been lying on my bed?" And the rest came running to him, and everyone cried out that somebody had been upon his bed. But this went 7 saw Snowdrow and called all his brothers to come and see her, and they cried with wonder and astonishment, and brought their lamps to look at her, and said, "Good heavens, what a lovely child," she said. And they were very glad to see her, and took care not to wake her. And the 7 dwarfs spelled and howled with each of the other dwarfs in turn, till the night was gone. "Oh, this little Snowdrow, did you interest in my little Jack?" "Yes, you want that I'm read?" "Okay, I'm read." In the morning, Snowdrow told them all her story, and they pitied her and said if they would keep all things in order and cook and wash and knit and spin for them, she may stay where she was, and they would take good care of her. Then they went out all day long to work, seeking for gold and silver in the mountains. But Snowdrow was left at home, and they warned her and said, "The queen will soon find out where are you, so take care and let no one in." But the queen, now that Snowdrow was dead, believed that she must be the handsomest lady in the land, and she went to her glass and said, "Tell me, glass, tell me true, of all the ladies in the land, who is fairest, tell me who?" And the glass answered, "Thou, queen, art the fairest in all this land, but over the hills in the greenwood shade, where the 7 dwarfs that dwelling have made, the Snowdrow is hiding her head, and she is lovely, far, O queen, than thee." Then the queen was very much frightened. Who she can, the glass always spoke the truth, and was sure that the 7th had bribed her, not pleased to think another life who was more beautiful than she was. So she dressed herself up as old peddler and went her way over the hills to a place where drows dwelt. Yes, my little Jack, I read it. Don't scream, please listen. Then she knocked at the door and cried, "5 where is to sail?" Snowdrow looked out the window and said, "Good day, good woman. What have you to sell?" "Good wares, fine wares," said she, "laces and bonbons of the colors. I will let your old lady, and she seemed to be a very good sort of body," thought Snowdrow as she ran down and closed the door. "Bless me," said the old woman, "how badly you stays. At least let me let up with of my nice new laces." Snowdrow did not dream and mistake. The elastic in the Snowdrop's breast was stopped, and she fell down as in the she were dead than the same old beauty, said the spiteful queen, and went away home. Meantime, the queen went home to her glass and shocked with rage she read the very same answer as before, and she said, "Snowdrop shall die if it cost me my life." So she went herself into her chamber and got ready to pose the bell. The outside looked very rosy and tempting, but poor taste it was sure to die when she dressed herself up as a peasant wife and traveled over the hills to the dwarf's cottage and knocked at the door. But Snowdrow put her head out the window and said, "I dare not let any in, for the dwarfs had told me not." "Do as you please," said the old woman, "but at any rate take this pretty apple. I will give it to you." "No," said Snowdrow, "I dare not take it." "You silly girl," answered the other, "what are you afraid of? Do you think it is poisoned? Come, do you eat one part, and I will the other." No, the apple was so made as the one side was good, the other side was poisoned. Yes, I tell you, oh my God, I tell you. The snowball was much tempted to taste, for the apple looked so very nice, and when she saw the old woman eat, she could wait no longer, but she had scarcely put the piece into her mouth when she fell down dead upon the ground. "This time nothing will save her," said the queen, and she went home to her glass, and at last it said, "True queen, at the first of all the fair," and therefore waked. And then her waked, her was glad and as happy as such a heart could be. When evening came and the dwarfs had gone home, they found Snowdrow lying on the ground. No breeze came from her lips, and they were afraid that she was quietly dead. And they lifted her up and combed her hair and washed her face with wine and water, but all was in vain, for the little girl seemed quite dead. So they laid her down upon a bier, and all 7 watched while her 3 whole days, and then they thought they would bury her, but her cheeks were still rosy, and her face looked just as it did while she was alive. So they said, "We will never bury her in good ground." And they made a coffin of glass so that they might still look at her, and wrote upon it in golden letters what name was that his was a kind daughter. And the coffin was set among the hills, and one of the doors always sat bit unwatched, and the birds of the air came too, and beamed Snowdrow, and first of all came on all, and they arrived at last at dawn, and sat by her side. And thus Snowdrow lay for a long, long time, and still only looked as though she was slept, who she was even now as white as snow, and as red as blood, and as black as ebony. At last a prince came and called at the dwarf's house, and he saw Snowdrow, and read that was written in golden letters. Then they offered the dwarfs money, and prayed and besought them to let him take her away. But they said, "We will not part with her for all the gold in the world." At last, however, they had pity on him, and gave him coffin, but the moment he left it up to carry it home with him, the piece of apple fell from between her lips, and Snowdrow awoke and said, "Where am I?" And the prince said, "Thou art quite safe with me." Then he told her all that had happened, and said, "I love you far better than all the world. So come with me to my father's palace, and you shall be my wife." And Snowdrow consented, and went home with the prize, and everything was got ready with great pomp and spell to fight wedding. To the feast was asked among the rest Snowdrow, all enemy the queen. As she sat dressing herself in fine rich clothes, she looked in the glass and said, "Tell me, glass, tell me true, of all the ladies in the land, who is fairest, tell me who?" And the glass answered, "Two lady art lawless here, I ween, but lovely fairest new-made queen." When she heard this, she started with rage, but her envy and courage was so great, and she could not help setting out to see the bride. And when she got there, and it was no other than Snowdrow, who, as she thought, has been dead a long while. She choked with rage and fell down and died. But Snowdrow and the prince lived and reigned happily over the land many, many years. And sometimes they went up in the mountains and paid a visit to the little dwarfs who had been no kin to Snowdrow in her time of need. Oh, my little boy, do you like this fairy tale? Oh, you're so happy. When you're happy, I'm happy too. Come on, little boy, come with me. I help to find